show.
Oh, I'm just letting you know.
Same.
So, so thank you for that, though. Furthering that, another question.
Sorry.
No.
Just who's the guy on the left side? Or
just getting to him.
Oh, okay.
Character over to the, I don't know what side that is because I'm not paying attention. Thank you. Is Nicholas D. Wolfwood. He is a character, he's basically the, I hate to call him sidekick, but he's Vash's sidekick throughout the series. He is a wandering priest who...
Hence the cross.
Hence his weapon is shaped like a cross. His thing is that he's a wandering priest, and he was actually a mercenary. It depends on which story you're focusing on, the manga or the anime. But regardless, he was trained by an organization that takes, like, not really Christian ideals, but they take the Christian motif, turn it to 11, and make assassins out of people.
Awesome.
So he's like modified to be able to carry that cross with one hand. I mean, when you first see him, he takes the cross and tosses it to a couple guys to help him carry it, and it takes 3 guys to carry it. And great line uttered by Wolfwood in the entire series, which I actually commented on your page recently. Liz, after the guy asks him, you know, why is this cross so heavy, Wolfwood responds cool and calmly, because it's full of mercy. Which is a great line.
Wonderful line.
Considering that it
Full
is
of
2
mercy.
pistol racks, a rocket launcher, and a machine gun.
Damn.
Each leg of the cross, or each arm of the cross, is a different weapon.
Ooh.
So Wolfwood is personally my favorite character, and probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing characters in anime to date. Just because he's got this style about
Very
him that is...
sleek looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Where a lot of main characters have a lot of, they're kind of busy.
Yes.
They have a lot of stuff going on for them, where Wolfwood is black suit, white shirt, very plain, but sleek and cool.
Yes, yes. And even Vash. Vash is kind of an out there character. He wears a big bright red coat, blonde spiky hair, you know, very exaggerated with his motions and everything. You can tell all of that in this character. His
But that also
personality.
is very comedic.
Yeah, exactly. Trigun, just a little bit about the anime itself. Again, another great anime, fantastic story, really touching, really dark even at certain points, though it lightens it with comedy. Vash is obviously an outlaw who wanders this planet, which they never really say, I don't think, in the anime, or they mention it once or twice. The planet they're on is called Planet Gunsmoke, because it is literally an entire planet of Wild West. It's all arid
never
battles.
mentioned in the anime, they
Yeah.
named the planet. It's only mentioned in the manga.
Manga, yeah, it's Planet Gunsmoke. And this was a human colony, and this takes place kind of years and years and years into the future after humans spread around different planets. Question?
Sorry for some is the manga in the same, like, order as in the anime, or is...
Yes.
Okay.
The difference with the manga is that there was a manga that came out originally that followed the story of that the anime was based on. So you have the anime storyline. Years later, Yasuhiro Naito, after the anime was done and finished, Yasuhiro Naito he felt that he was rushed with the plot of the story because he had to make an anime before the manga was even like done. So he felt rushed. So he decided to revise the manga from the halfway point of this, like from I guess the halfway point of the anime, and decided to rewrite 14 more books, which is like another 100 or so chapters of a new final and new ending, new plot. You know, same characters, a couple of new ones here and there, but you basically rewrote the whole plot. It's called Trigun Maximum. Personally,
I was gonna ask that.
yeah, personally, I viewed manga Trigun Maximum to be far superior to the anime, but it's debatable because obviously it's not animated.
To a point, it's probably the truest from the story, because this is the way he wanted the story to go.
Exactly.
He just didn't have the time to do it back, 10, 15 years ago.
And if you think the villains and everything's eccentric now, it gets crazy in Maximum. I mean, it gets really crazy, but it retains the stylistically kind of cool design to it, and that kind of gritty technology that Trigun is known for. So. But that's Trigun as a nutshell, and I'm not going to spend hours talking up here because I can, but most of you know of it, so. Next. So I'm going to start going over some other examples. Stuff that counts as, or at least having a gunslinger character while not maintaining the gunslinger theme. The first being Outlaw Star. You've seen Outlaw Star. It's another fantastic series, another series from the golden age of anime in the United States. And Gene Starwind himself is an atypical gunslinger character. He carries a gun that is superior powerful to most others. It shoots magic, which is awesome. And the whole concept of the show, while it doesn't have the aesthetic, it's a very future sci-fi show, and it has ship-to-ship combat and a lot of science fiction themes. it maintains the Wild Western attitude. There are pirates, there are outlaws, there are the cops.
It's a good mix of science fiction with the steampunk. A little bit of steampunk just
Yes.
to make it seem like a Wild West.
Yes, absolutely. It retains the ideals. The ideals of outlaws, that there's criminals, or people who are lawless. They could be bounty hunters, they could be pirates, they could be smugglers, whatever. There are outlaws, there are pirates, and which are like your syndicated, villains, your mob groups, your, mafias. And then you have your police who are, barely trying to control over certain small parts of the universe or the galaxy that it takes place in, but still pose a great threat to either side. So it's a great series though because it's not black and white. And that's what I love about Outlaw Star. It's a very gray area series as far as who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, and you have to like these guys and dislike these guys. No, there's 3 sides. So you have to pick what side you like and essentially go from there. Yeah. The next series, which I'm sure another large group of you have heard of, is Hellsing. Hellsing is an action horror anime. It is defined as action and horror because it has vampires and werewolves and blood and gore and lots of cool stuff like that we all love. But Alucard himself maintains, as well as a number of villains, maintain the gunslinger personality. Alucard uses his guns despite having the ability to rape your brain seven ways from Sunday before you even blink. So, but he still chooses to use those guns because he finds a visceral enjoyment in shooting things. That's really the only reason why. Some other characters, I wish I could picture them, but I didn't have time to find them. Some other characters, like the Valentine brothers, which were a pair of brothers who were villains, also maintain this gunslinger attitude, and they review the 2 opposite sides of the spectrum. Luke Valentine, who wears a white suit, white hair, long white hair, very clean, very proper, very reserved, very proper, uses 2, I think they're M1 Garands, or like single fire rifles, that he dual wields or sawed off into pistol size. So his fighting style is very, one shot, one kill, one shot, one kill. It doesn't, exaggerate. It doesn't need to go crazy with his ammunition. His brother, on the other hand, one of my favorite characters from Hellsing, Jan Valentine, wields 2 submachine guns. And when he kills people, he has no provocation to dump his entire clip into one guy. So he literally stands in a hallway, aims one gun this way, and then looks up and just shoots both. He is out there wild, crazy. He is the walking definition of spray and pray. So again, more of that gunslinger archetype used again and again and again in that particular series. Next slide. All right. Sexy examples of gunslingers.
Oh, God. Here we go.
So glad I looked up.
Yeah. Sexy gunslingers. Okay. Guys love these. Women sometimes. It depends. They're a little can be a little sexist, but what anime isn't? The first series, Grenadier. Grenadier came out a number of years ago, and it has been equated to being called Trigun with boobs.
It's a Trigun with boobs or Trigun light.
Yeah, it's Trigun light or Trigun light with boobs.
Yeah.
Follows the story of Rushuna Tendo, who is a woman who, like Vash, does not want to kill anybody. She does not want to take life. However, she is a phenomenal marksman and a phenomenal pistol dueler, pistol fighter. So she basically goes around, again, another similar kind of setting that is a very wastelandy kind of setting for the most part until the end of the series. But yes, and thank you, Ernie. Her gun is a revolver.
They would say that.
Her gun is a revolver. Typically, that is the Western iconic weapon, is the revolver handgun. A revolver's flaw is that it's a difficult thing to reload, because you have to reload 1 bullet at a time. Grenadier corrects this by stuffing Tendo's, as well as her rival Setsuka, filling their breasts with bullets, in which they can jiggle their breasts, 6 bullets fly out.
Bullets.
They don't lactate bullets. They
No!
So
I feel sorry for them.
Yeah. So they can jiggle their breasts, 6 bullets fly out, they swing their gun in such a way that all 6 bullets fit perfectly into the chamber and click and keep going. And nobody sees this coming in the anime, which is what makes her so surprising, because everyone counts her shots and they're like, oh, you fired all. No, she didn't. She reloaded when she cartwheeled that provocative way. So
I
it is.
kind of picture that in my head.
Yes.
Just
Stay
like
classy. Stay classy.
In the same right, despite the silliness of the series, Grenadier does have some of the best like gunfighting scenes that you can ever see. The gunfights are fantastic.
That will show at the end.
I will show you a clip actually pretty soon. Actually.